You, Senator Kane. Senator Schmitt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Ms. Sutton, I want to follow up on that. And I don't know, because we go in and out of these things, I don't know if you've been asked something like that a bunch of times today or not, but that was the focus of my question. I think there's been a lot of, I don't know what the right word is, frustration, but that I think we have to start talking about this and acting in a way that it deters our enemies on the cyber front. And I'm talking specifically about China. I think they've gotten so emboldened and so brazen. You just look at the most recent examples of that, whether it's hacking into phone calls of government officials, or just so there's a lot of things that they're doing that I think it's important for us to expose. It's also for our allies to understand that they're a nefarious actor willing to do this. And so if you sign up for the One Belt, One Road initiative, not only can they turn the lights on and turn the lights off, they can make airlines come or stop if you're critical of the CCP, but just the stuff that people don't see on the cyber front, I think that's just it's tools that they're willing to use. And I guess this is more of a monologue than it is a question, but I just think that we have to, because we admit these things and we bring them out in the open when they happen. I think for them, they don't want to admit any vulnerabilities. And so I just hope that in your role, taking probably you've heard on a bipartisan basis here, we need to be more aggressive offensively. And because if they don't feel the pain, they're just going to keep doing it. And I think they've gotten more emboldened to do it. And I don't think that a lot of Americans understand probably how vulnerable our critical infrastructure is to what the Chinese are already probably embedded in, what they're willing to do. It certainly would reach a critical mass if they moved on Taiwan. I think that that's sort of probably where they go first and try to destroy any resolve that we might have in this country for some response. But anyway, on the cyber front, I just think that we need to be more aggressive. And your view of this, I've heard just a snippet from Senator Kane, but how do you view that, public and being more aggressive?
Senator, I share your concerns with the aggression that we're seeing from Chinese malicious cyber activity. I think there's a couple of priorities I'd have in addressing this issue. The first, as you mentioned, is the importance of calling it out. And that's something that the United States can't do alone. It's going to be important for all of our close partners and allies to share the burden in this space. And when we see activity that is unacceptable and what violates the norms of cyberspace, that we all call that out and call out China's targeting of our infrastructure that threatens our American interests. I also believe it's important that we make sure that the Department of Defense has a robust, effective, second-to-none capability in both offensive and defensive capabilities, and that those options are presented to the President and the Secretary so that they have a range of tools available to respond and to deter this activity. And then the third priority I'd have is to consider that cyber is but one tool in our toolbox. And how can we as a department be best postured to support other levers of national power, whether it be economic or diplomatic sanctions, to be able to impose further costs based on what we see in cyberspace.
And the general's next to you, and is sort of a question that's related to both of your roles, or hopefully your roles moving forward, is do you feel like you're able to recruit and you feel like we've got access to the best talent to actually engage in this effort?
Senator, one of the most effective recruiting tools we have in the Department of Defense is our mission, and the ability to be able to bring the best and brightest from our country and let them work on hard problems and defend the country every day. If confirmed, one of my priorities will be to make sure that we keep them on mission and keep them focused on doing the work that is what brings them here, while making sure we have the right compensation in place to make sure they're incentivized for that work.
Thanks. And with the limited time I have, General, and the senator to my right also has focused on a lot of this too. In the first 2 years, the criticism that I had of the previous administration was just this obsession with DEI, and it's just obsession with this cultural Marxism that really, I think, hurt recruiting. It hurt morale. It's discriminatory. And I know that this administration and the Secretary of Defense have made it a point to root that out. But I will say that even in the preparation for those hearings, as we were trying to find examples of this, this ideology, you could tell it started to go underground a little bit more. That the previous administration didn't want to talk about it as much openly, but there'd still be slide decks that you might find that had just some crazy stuff in it. So I just, would ask for your commitment. It just has no place in our military, and I think that the American people have come around to this thing too. I'm glad the administration has made it a focus, and to be part of your role too, I think, and just knowing that you're on board with making sure that this isn't going to be part of what we do anymore will be good.
Senator, you have my absolute commitment to focus on those things that unify us, to be a cohesive, lethal fighting force, and not those things that divide us.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Schmitt.